Today I want to talk to you about grubs. You can see we've got a collection here in this terracotta tray. We have some June beetle grubs. Now this small one here is the traditional brown June beetle grub or white grub that we see really often in our lawns or in our garden soil. These larger grubs are the larvae of the green June beetle, a little bit different insect. You can see they are quite different. The green June beetle grub is at least twice the size of the brown June beetle grub. And another major difference is the brown June beetle grub crawls on its stomach, actually uses its legs, whereas these large green June beetle grubs sort of crawl along on their backs. The green June beetle grubs, these really big nasty looking ones here, they don't really do any damage to our lawns. They don't eat any of the grass roots or anything like that. They feed on organic matter. However, the little brown June beetle grub does feed on the roots of our plants and particularly can do damage to turf grass if they're present in large numbers. What we usually recommend is that if you dig up a 1 foot square area in your lawn and it contains 7 or more of these small grubs, and usually when you dig them up they sort of curl up into the shape of a C. This one's a little feisty, so he's not wanting to do it this morning, but they usually will curl up and you find them in that shape in the ground. But again, if you find 7 or more of these, would be a good idea to treat your lawn. But these green June beetle grubs don't do damage to the turf grass in the larva state. However, when they pupate and turn into an adult, and we've got some here that we collected back in the summer, the adults can do damage if you have fruit trees on your property. And what these beetles will do, if you look at the nose there, you see that horn or that bump. They'll use that bump to scratch the surface of an apple or a peach or something like that, and they'll break through that outer skin. Then they'll start feeding on the inner flesh of the fruit. Sometimes out in our orchard here, we would walk out and we'd find an apple and it may have like 8 or 10 of these beetles down inside the apple just feeding. So they can be a problem in that way, but if you don't have fruit trees, then these large grubs aren't really a problem. Now sometimes these green June beetles are mistaken for Japanese beetles, but the Japanese beetle is only about half this size. It's a similar green beetle, but it's only about a ½ inch long. It's a much smaller than this green June beetle. The green June beetle has a life cycle where these things will hatch out in July or August, and they will start feeding on organic matter in the soil. So these guys are only a few months old. You can tell they've been eating really good. They've got some good size on them here. But they overwinter in this state right here, down in the soil. Then in the spring, they will pupate and turn into the adult, and they emerge in, you guessed it, June. So again, the green June beetle, not damaging to the turf, feeds on organic matter. The adults do damage to our fruit on our fruit trees. The white grubs, or the traditional brown June beetle right here that crawls on its stomach, the smaller one, damages the lawn. Only treat if you have 7 or more in a 1 foot square area.